Hello, and welcome to this video, which we're going to talk about the eclipse. So, tomorrow, Wednesday, August 12th, we have our first eclipse in this season's eclipse season. So, it's going to be a total solar eclipse in Leo. It is a new moon. And we've been in the eclipse portal for a couple weeks now, about a couple weeks. And eclipses are a little bit more chaotic. Eclipses aren't your traditional lunations as we normally see. So often when we have a new moon, it is when the sun and the moon are on the same point in the sky. We cannot see the moon at night. And this is really a time to plant seeds. It's to manifest, to set intentions. Most people will tell you, don't do that during an eclipse, rather. Don't, it's too chaotic to have clarity, to plant those seeds. Like the conditions, if you think about it, if you're in a place where soil conditions are really chaotic and you need a seed, or you have a seed that needs like very stable specific conditions, if you plant that seed, it may or may not grow. You don't know. I'm also a 6'3", so I'm also a huge advocate of trial and error, experiencing things yourself. I have set intentions, I have manifested, I have, especially during like Mercury retrogrades, I've done big things during Mercury retrogrades. So I believe that we all need to come to our own conclusions and experience ourselves. However, with eclipses, saying that, again, they don't necessarily operate the way that a normal lunation would. And in ancient times, ancient civilizations, they were very particular about what they did during eclipses. Some people would stay inside during an eclipse. Some people would get underwater during an eclipse because the water was charged. Some people would smash plates to counterbalance the chaos of the eclipse. Some people would dance. Some people would scream. Like there's just so many different things that we can do during an eclipse. This eclipse is in Leo. Leo is a fixed fire sign. Leo is ruled by the sun. So Leo is about visibility. It's big, it's bold, it's dramatic, it's the actor, it's about our identities, it's the roles that we're playing. And this is a south node eclipse. So we have a north node eclipse that's going to be happening at the end of the month on the 27th. That's in Pisces. Now, the nodes are currently in Aquarius Leo axis, but it depends on the degree of where the moon is at that time. But we're having a north node eclipse. The moon will be in Pisces. The north node is in Aquarius. So the nodes move backwards. So the nodes moved into Aquarius and Leo at 29 degrees versus 0 degrees onwards. So that's going to be a lunar eclipse, and that's a north node eclipse. So that is more about where we're heading, where we're going. Now, south nodes, any opposition in astrology holds duality. There is, I think a lot of us often when we are in our south node energy, we're trying to reject it. We're trying to move away from it. We have a lot of shadows around that because that's what's been comfortable for us. South nodes are really a space where we need to integrate, right? Any polarity in astrology, like if you have a Taurus sun, your earth, which astrology doesn't necessarily talk about that, human design does, esoteric astrology talks about your earth, but if you have your sun in Taurus, your earth will be in Scorpio. And so Scorpio holds a lot of lessons that we need to integrate to fully shine in our sun's energy in Taurus. So just an example, this is in Leo, this is a fixed sign. This is a fixed sign eclipse. So this is long term. Whatever we're calling in, whatever we're releasing, whatever we're facing at this moment is long term. And so we will see the results of this for a while to come. Leo is also about leadership. And so I am not necessarily the astrologer to go for political stuff, but a lot of times we have big world events that tend to happen during eclipses, and especially because this is Leo, right? This is leadership, power positions, things like that. Who knows? We'll have to see what's come about with that. There are some really great podcasts and astrologers who do speak to that. The astrology podcast is one. I absolutely love like diving in and listening to world events that happen and how it relates to the astrology. But this really, I think for individually, is really about being authentic, self-expressed, integrating, and really like kind of accepting these parts of ourselves, these roles. This has been huge for me. Recently, I've had some things that have been coming up that is really showing me this role that I used to play, this role that was sort of, from childhood, kind of given to me almost. And I have played this role over and over and over again in my life. And it's come to this culmination of like, okay, that role doesn't serve me. That role is not moving me forward. But of course, when we switch up like that, when we change, when we decide to choose a new identity or let things go, there tends to be a reaction, especially when it comes to people who are very close to us, because they're used to you operating in a certain way. And so it can be challenging anytime that we want to change, but especially when we're moving towards a more authentic identity for ourselves, those closest to us might push back, might resist. We might feel like we're wrong. We might feel guilt. But this moon is really asking us to like be authentic, to express who you actually are. And if the people closest to you don't support that, find your tribe. That's what Aquarius is here for, right? Like find your tribe, find the people who will lift you up, people who will support you. There was this little meme I saw on Instagram and it was so beautiful. It was a horse, a white horse, and behind it was a duck. So you're looking at it from the back with this duck with his wings out on top of the horse, but in the mirror, it looked like a unicorn, right? So it was like the right people will make you see and do things you never thought possible. So find your people, find your tribe, find your community. If you don't have that in your day to day, like find it online, like go out and seek it. That's a huge thing that I'm currently doing in my life right now is like finding my tribe, finding my people, creating spaces. If I don't have them, felt a sneeze coming on. But okay, so new moon total solar eclipse in Leo at 20 degrees happening at 12:36 p.m. Central Standard Time, Wednesday, August 12th. So this is also happening in gate 4 in human design. Again, Leo is bold, dramatic, visible. It wants to be seen. Sometimes the shadow of Leo is that it can be stubborn, very risky, sometimes like risk taking, very egotistical. So we don't want to be like in the shadow sides, but also if the shadow sides come up, embrace them. There's a lot about my life, I guess, a lot of things that, as a 6/3 profile in human design, this is very trial and error, but there is this role model piece to it. And with a Leo moon and Leo rising, there is this drive to kind of be a little bit of a perfectionist. And I've really had to radically accept all parts of my life recently, even if there are things that maybe I felt shame for before. There's, I don't know, when I look at people and they just like radically take responsibility for their life, like there's never judgment for it. It's like, okay, like if they accept it, why should I not accept it? But it's like when we're resisting these parts of ourselves, they become bigger and they become more of a thing. Now, with the nodes in Leo and Aquarius, and I'm going to share the chart in just a second. There is this huge piece which comes with this nodal shift that we have: North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo. And again, South Node eclipse is what we're having tomorrow, August 12th. Leo is the heart, right? Leo in the physical body, Leo rules the heart. The heart has the biggest electromagnetic field in the body, right? So our heart's energy field can span out 10 feet around us. So when we think that we're not helping, when we think that the work that we're doing with ourselves isn't enough or whatever, the work that you're doing with yourself, if you're feeling your feelings, if you're regulating, and I've learned over the course of my journey, because my journey has so much been about the body and emotions, if we're just regulating and not feeling, then we're kind of not facing the underlying issue. But when we can be in our feelings, when we can regulate, we can like ground ourselves down. I was thinking about this and I was in a conversation today where it's like my biggest win, I don't know if that's the right terminology, but my biggest transformation, we'll say, in myself and what I teach and what is part of every program that I run is that when I look at myself 10 years ago, I was so crazy emotionally. I was so unregulated. I was so all over the place. I was so up and down. I was so upset. I was so like just not in my body, not owning my stuff, like very victim mindset. And then I still have a long ways to go, right? There are still things that trigger me. There are still things that activate me. I do have practices now, like yoga nidras, like meditation, like journaling are my biggest practices. But there are so many people in my orbit that reflect how grounded, how calm, like when my kids do something People will be like, you're just like so calm and you're so chill. Like, do you get mad at them? I'm like, yes, my son says, oh, mom's getting fussy. But of course, they also know when I get a certain tone that like it's coming. So, we're all on our journey, we're all on our lesson. And also, I'm getting off track, but like parenting is the biggest lessons for us because our own conditioning, our childhood reactions tend to come out when we're in reaction or response mode to our kids. Like I do notice sometimes when I'm immediately reacting to them, the things that I'm saying, I have to like pause and think about it. I'm like, oh, this isn't mine, actually. This is my conditioned response. This is the way I was responded to as a child, right? And so it takes like that slow breath. So that being said, when we're being authentic, when we're coming into our heart and that energy, when we're aligning to our own frequency and it's spanning out 10 feet around us, just envision, I picture, a family sitting together at a table, like eating food, right? Like if you're aligned and you're so at peace and you're in your body and you're elevating your frequency, everybody at that table is going to feel that, right? That's why they say do your own work, and people around you are either going to fall away or they're going to get curious. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to wonder what you're doing because they're going to see the difference. So that's so much about what this Leo is, because Aquarius is the collective. Aquarius is your tribe. Aquarius is future oriented. Aquarius is like all these things. It's very much in service. It's the humanitarian. And so this contrast with Aquarius, others, Leo, but when I am in alignment, when I am magnetizing and aligning in my heart space, I am impacting those around me and we can all kind of rise together. And so that's really the purpose of this full moon. So it's not a full moon, sorry, the new moon. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right. This is the chart for the new moon eclipse. Ignore the houses. This is set for where I'm currently at. This is our moons here, in our sun and our moon conjunct in Leo, and the nodes are over here. Now, there is so much going on with this chart. We're going to start here, fixed fire sign. This is about passion. This is about creativity. This is being self-expressed. This is about being authentic. Again, South Node eclipse. This is about letting go of identities that we've held on to, right? This is taking up space, taking up space with how we're feeling, with our emotions, right? Like the right people will be there for it and the wrong people won't be. But if we can take up space, it's like I hear so many people apologize, like, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't apologize for existing. Don't apologize for having feelings, right? And so this is being bold and taking up space with that. This moon is trying to Saturn. So Saturn here, Saturn is restrictions, Saturn is karma, Saturn is the 3D, it's linear time. Saturn is here to bring some wisdom, to slow things down a little bit. Trines are supportive aspects. So this is supportive in the way that it's grounding the emotions down a little bit, right? So we can have a little bit of that. It is an Aries, so it isn't a fire sign, but Saturn rules Capricorn. So it just feels very like earthy, right? It's kind of bringing a little bit of that in. Saturn is retrograde, so it is internalizing these things. It can be a support for us as we're navigating outdated identities, conditioned stories, responses, all of those things. We have Mercury here, which is opposite to Pluto, which is creating this little barbell basket that we've been having. With, it started with Jupiter, and then the sun came in, and then Mercury came in. And so Mercury is now taking this place. So all of these inner planets, and I will say with this moon, all of our inner planets are really activated this week, which is like our day-to-day stuff that we really will experience, things that we really will see. Like the outer planets are very slow moving. And so their impact is huge, but we tend to notice it over time because they move so slowly. The inner planets move faster. And when they're super active, like they are this week, like Venus is really active, Mercury is really active, Mars just moved into Cancer. And so we have these inner planets here that are activating us. So Mercury is completing this little barbell basket. It's opposite to Pluto. This is really expressing ourselves, right? Like all of this change, all of this self-expression. Mercury in Leo, this is our communication. This is our creativity. This is our friends. This is our mind. What we're focusing on in Leo is big, bold, dramatic, it's creative, it's playful, it's children, right? Like all of these sorts of themes. And so we're expressing all of these changes all of this, like, who am I type energy, like Neptune and Aquarius, right? Like, who am I? What am I fighting for, right? It's kind of the big questions that are asking there. Uranus and Gemini, what are we focusing on? Like, how is our perspective radically shifting? How is technology, social media, our friend groups, like, how is that shifting? And then Pluto and Aquarius, right? Like, power to the people. So all of this is like culminating here. We have this foundation of Mercury and Pluto, and that's kind of like where we're expressing it from. We also have Venus over here. By the way, I love Luna Astrology. I have a affiliate link for this, but this is like my absolute favorite software. It's so easy to use and just like pulls things apart like that. Okay, so we have Venus over here. Venus is sextile to Jupiter and Jupiter and Mercury, opposite Neptune trine. It's in a grand air trine with Uranus, Pluto, and Venus, Venus being the apex. So we're expressing our values, is really bringing in our relationships, love, right? Like beauty, all of these really beautiful things. But of course, it's really going to be seen on the what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I guess, landscape, our relationships. It's square to Mars, Venus and Mars. Mars just moved into Cancer. Mars in Cancer can be a little passive aggressive, right? We have this action, assertive, kind of warrior type energy, and this really it's not mutable, it's cardinal sign, but flowy. That's what I meant to say. Flowy, sort of watery. You think about the moon rules Cancer, the moon changes signs every couple of days. Cancer's moody. Cancer's always changing. Cancer will fit into the box that you give it, right? Like water will fit into a box that you give it. So Mars in here can just be a little bit moody, can be a little bit like frustrated, can be a little passive aggressive. So that's the theme that's going on there. And then Venus is opposite to Neptune. Every time, Venus opposite to Neptune always makes me think, like, when we have this aspect, are we seeing the red flags? Or are we just, seeing things through rose tinted glasses? We think everything's all good, but really there's like red flag, red flag, red flag. Right. So like really kind of like slowing down and allowing ourselves to move through it. Neptune is illusion, but it also dissolves the boundaries. It also dissolves the illusion over time. We have to give it time, right? We have to like be in it a little bit, and then we move through it, and then we can see a little bit more clearly. We're dissolving all of the fog that was in front of us, but we have to like stick with it. So this, especially when it comes to like relationships, notice what's coming up, right? Like maybe this is not a time to like take really big actions. And then we also have Chiron is over here, and it is square to Pluto. So Chiron is our core wounds. It's also square to Mercury, in a little T square here. Chiron is our core wound. Chiron is retrograde. Pluto is retrograde, right? So Pluto is destruction and it's creation, right? It's represented by Shiva, and this is literally the creator and the destroyer. So Pluto moves slowly, and it slowly brings these things up for us to see, for us to fall away. Like, things will be destroyed. It's death, transformation, and rebirth. This doesn't mean like a physical death. It could mean ego death. A part of you has to die in order to step into something new, right? Anytime we want to change something, we have to let something go to create space for something new. And that's really what this is about. And then, of course, we have Chiron here, which is our core wounds, right? Collective core wounds in Taurus. It is retrograde. It's going to be moving back into Aries, but it is currently in Taurus. So this is about our body. This is about our food. This is about sensuality, right? This is about money. So there is a lot of shadow work in these aspects, right? And then Mercury's here communicating. We're thinking about it. We're talking about it. And so just really noticing. That's why journaling is such a beautiful practice to lean into at any time, but especially when really big themes like this are coming up. So that's really, this moon is very active, like I said. It's also in gate 4, which is the gate of formalization. It's also known as youthful folly. This has the shadow and intolerance, the gift and understanding, and the siddhi, the highest expression in forgiveness. This is found in the Ajna. The I Ching says, it calls it childhood, because this is that sort of in that, I almost want to say ignorance, right? Where it's inexperience. We can be stubborn, we can be ignorant, but it's also asking us to take on the role of the student. And the student doesn't walk into a room telling the teacher they can, right? But when we're a student of something, we want to come with this student mindset, being curious, being open to new possibilities. understanding or being open to that we might not know the answers, right? And the ajna is conceptualization, right? The ajna is mental processing. So we want to be certain. The shadow of the ajna is not feeling certain and getting caught up in that, but we want to let that go with this. This is gate 4.2. Line 2 is the hermit. This is really like coming inside and doing the work. And this is really about meeting others with grace, right? Meeting others like who are learning themselves, not being intolerant in our relationship dynamics. Richard Rudd talks about this, and he talks about we think that we're super tolerant of things, then we get real triggered by people that we're in relationship to, right? So it's like finding the tolerance and the acceptance, and again, meeting every situation like with that student lens, where it's like, okay, like just being curious, being open, flowing with it. So that's the theme of this. I'm also going to read over here the, let's see, the Sabian symbol. So whenever we read a Sabian symbol, if it's so 20 degrees and 1 minute, we round up. But if it's 20 degrees and 0 minutes, we keep it at 20 degrees. This is 20 degrees and 1 minute. So we're rounding up to 21 minutes, 21 degrees of Leo. This is the Sabian symbol. A holly bush covered with berries. It is in the snow. Ornamental display. Hold on, let me move this. Ornamental display and deep underpinnings. Within the karmic theater, Leo, right, you perform to the hilt as your best self and your worst self grappling with each other in extreme mutual polarization. The witnessing intelligence is far removed from this dramatization and registering every nuance from beyond. Within the precincts of the drama, there is also compulsion to go against form and show the other side, against what is expected or assumed. Yet as the observer beholds this very compulsion, it is minor and trivial, only a personality quirk. The inward wisdom drives you, the karmic performer, to outdo yourself in switching and reversing polarities. But ultimately, you are not amused and archly await steps toward maturity and the dawning of ability to see through yourself on the spot, which is a very difficult and advanced state, and the only one that inspires and urges onward this quixotic combination of outward entrapment and inward fair witnessing with the utmost dispassion. So this is literally, I feel like, what we've been talking about, right? This sort of like push-pull between ourselves, in ourselves, between our shadows, right? Between our old self, between who we were, the identities we took on that are playing out on this karmic, dramatic theater, right? Which is Leo. We're shining this moon like the sun. We're shining a spotlight on it. Our shadows might be harder to see because this is an eclipse, right? Like we can't see the moon. We can't see the sun with this happening. And so be patient with yourself. Journal, sit with it, whatever you feel called to do during the new moon, whether that is, I'm gonna stop sharing, whether that is sitting inside, whether that is meditating, whether that is, whatever you feel called to do with this moon, just see how it feels. Trust yourself and lean into it. Again, highly recommend journaling. What's coming up? What shadows are coming up? What role or identity are you letting go so that you can step forward? How are you impacting people around you with your aura? Remember your heart. What is the frequency coming from your heart? How are you impacting those around you? How are you being authentic? How are you being self-expressed? How can you be more self-expressed? What do you need to release in order to step into that energy, into who you are? Great questions to ask during this new moon. And that is the energy of this moon. Subscribe to the channel to get more weekly transit updates, lunations. I'm going to be posting more on here. So happy new moon and eclipse.